but it doesn't have to be if that's not comfortable for you. So pick something that is comfortable, and then you don't have to close the eyes tonight if you don't want to. If closing the eyes feels like that is where you need to be, by all means close them. But perhaps instead just keep a soft gaze and think about maybe taking your gaze like towards your cheeks. So keeping the eyes nice and soft, but maybe focused towards the cheeks. And then just allow your hands to rest in your lap. And as we just find this space to sort of time into our practice, see if you can elongate your spine. And then notice as you elongate the spine, as you sit up a little bit taller, what your low belly is doing. Notice what your shoulders begin to do. Not judging them or necessarily shifting anything, but just noticing. And as you start to bring your breath in and out through your nose, see if you can begin to focus your mind. See if you can remove anything that feels extraneous or distracting. And see if you can just be here with your breath, with your intention for your practice this evening. Keeping that soft gaze or closed eyes, take 3 more deep breaths in. 3 more deep breaths out. Find a rhythm that works for you in these deep inhales and exhales. And then see if you can imprint this rhythm in your memory, so kind of feeling the cadence, noticing it. And anytime something feels a little out of focus, unstable, maybe bring yourself back to that rhythm and see if it changes anything. And then if your hands are resting gently on your thighs, just release them down to your sides when you feel ready. And then open your palms to face forward and just start to draw the arms all the way up to the sky. Take a big breath in here. As you exhale, take your left hand down towards your left side and reach your right fingers up and over, stretching long into your right side body. If you need to tend the fingers or put them on a block, totally fine. Deep breath in. And then come back through center, reach both arms up high. Exhale, release the right hand, reach your left fingers up and over, feel into the left side body, stretching. Maybe feel space between your left ear and your shoulder. See if you can elongate here. Take another breath in. And a breath out. Inhale, come back through center. And if you're not already on your shins, come onto your shins and just find tabletop pose. We're gonna come onto hands and knees and lengthen through the spine. Feel your low belly drawing in, feel your shoulder blades drawing apart. And then when you're ready, begin to drop your belly down, lift your gaze, lift your seat. And exhale, arch the spine, tuck and round into your cat. 3 more times, using your breath to feel your movements. Seeing if you can elongate the collarbone on your cow. And lengthen the back body as you draw yourself into a cat shape. 1 more round or so. If you're faster or slower, no big deal. And when you're ready, arrive in tabletop. I'm not there yet, but I will be, so no rush. And then when you feel ready, take your right leg back behind you, press into the ball knot of the foot and draw your right heel back. So just lengthening out through the hamstring a little bit, feeling into the legs. And then start to bring your weight slightly forward back into the palms. Come onto the tips of the toes. And then lift your right leg up to hip height. So now you're in a nice balance here. And then start to bring your left fingers out in front of you, maybe tense them or reach them forward. Draw your bicep up above your left ear and reach your right toes back. Take another deep breath in. As you breathe out, just lower the left lifted hand. Keep your right leg where it is. And then roll your weight into your left palm and see if you can reach your right arm to the sky. Woo, modified side plank. Hug your low belly in. Just notice where your breath is. Take another inhale here. And then gently let your right leg fall back to the mat, or your foot rather, okay? And then tense your left fingertips. And you can stay here, or if you have the space, you can begin to hover your left hand. We'll see if I can do this. Woo, find your belly, and then release it down. Start to lift your right leg back up, find that modified side plank. We're gonna do that one more time. Lower the right foot. Tense your left fingers or maybe lift them just a couple inches. And then lower down, find your modified side plank. Hold here for a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Kick your right heel in towards your seat. And then reach around with your right hand and maybe grab the top of the foot. So it's like a Shavasana variation. Feeling into that hip flexor and quad, stretching across your chest and your shoulders. Take one more breath. We're going to extend the arm and leg, right arm to the sky, right leg out. And then release the right palm down, close your hips. Find that bird dog shape. And then release the right knee back to the mat. Shake your hips out softly. Take one round of cat-cow when you're ready. Neutralize your spine to start. And then drop the belly, lift up through the crown of the head. Feel that space between your collarbone. Exhale, arch into the spine, tuck and round. Come back to your center, find tabletop pose, hug the low belly in. And then take your left leg back behind you and find that hamstring stretch. So just gently press into the ball of the foot as much or as little as your hamstring wants. And then when you're ready, or your calf really, start to come up onto the tips of the left toes and then lift them off the mat to hip height. So now your leg is nice and lifted and you have energy all through that top of your left thigh. And then walk your right fingers forward, maybe tense them. Maybe begin to lift them off the mat, finding that bird dog, full bird dog variation, holding here for a breath in. Breath out, lower the right hand. Spin your weight onto the right palm and see if you can draw your left arm to the sky. You might wobble. Notice what causes the wobbles, breathe into it. And then as you exhale, lower your left toes. From here, see if you can tense your right fingers, maybe hover them a couple inches. Ooh, hold. Find your breath. Lower the right hand, lift your left toes, modified side plank. Take a breath in. One more time, lower your left toes, maybe right arm reaches or tense the fingertips. Lower the right hand, lift the left toes. Kick your left heel towards your seat, reach back with the left hand, maybe grab the foot, Shavasana variation. Opening up across the chest, feeling space in your quad. And then re-extend when you are ready. Close the left hip and hand down and come back to tabletop. Very nice. Give your hips a little shake, a little wiggle. And then go ahead and plant your palms and separate your fingers nice and wide. So your palms are already down, but I just mean like really root down through them, so strong arms. And then tuck your toes. Lift your knees like 2 inches from the mat. So now your low belly is super engaged, and we're just breathing here, finding space. Now, from here, can you take like 5 little steps in towards your wrists, and then 5 little steps back out to your hovering table? We're gonna do this 5 more times. Draw your feet in. You can just count to 5 and draw them out. 4 more times or so. You might be faster or slower, and that is fine. But I'll try and keep somewhat of a count. I'm going for 3, 2, keep the low belly engaged. Last one, perhaps. Meet in that hovering tabletop whenever you are done. Take a deep breath here, and then draw your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Woo, breathe. Pedal out the feet as much as you need. Feel that warmth in your body. Maybe that warmth in your belly. So the reason we're warming up our hip flexors and we're finding a little more mobility through our lower body as well as our core is because your lower body, the mobility of it, is super important for your handstand prep. It's just as important as your arms, your hands, your core. So we'll do a lot of low body things to increase mobility. Take 2 more breaths here in your dog. Maybe release, keep haw out through the mouth when you're ready, let it go. Big breath in through the nose. Breath out. On an inhale, take your right leg high to the sky. And then begin to open up your right hip. Maybe bend the knee or keep it long. And see if you can just open up that right hip over the left and then drop the right shoulder back down. Wherever you are with the leg, start to close your right hip back down in line with the left. and then bring your knee to your nose. Lightly step your foot through, and lower your back knee, low lunge. From here, hands to top of thigh, or when and if you're ready, circle sweep them up and overhead. Low lunge. Finding length into the left hip flexor, finding space into the front side of the body as you get a little bit longer. And then options here, you can drop your right forearm to your right thigh and just gently reach up and over with your left fingertips towards the right for a side body stretch. Or if you have the space, you can lower the right fingertips to the mat. So just like underneath your right hip, and then maybe extend long through your left ribs. Take another deep breath here, and a breath out. Come back through center, reach the arms up nice and high, and then begin to tuck your left toes. Lift your left knee like 2 inches, hover, hold, 3, 2, 1, rise up, high crescent pose, pause. Draw the biceps back behind the ears, swivel the pinky fingers inwards. Feel that strength in your back left leg. We're holding, we're breathing. Take another full inhale here. And as you exhale, we're gonna press into our right foot, and we're gonna take our left knee all the way in towards our belly, standing high knee raise. And then from your standing high knee raise, I want you just to bring your left foot either to your ankle, your shin, or your thigh, tree pose, whatever you have space for, okay? Find your breath, find your balance. Now go ahead and let your arms rest for a moment. You can bring them to heart or to your hips. And I want you to either take your left forearm to your left thigh, and you can stretch your right fingers up and over, or if you're feeling really balanced and supported, take your left fingers around your right wrist perhaps, and find that side body stretch in your right ribs. Very nice. Take another breath or 2. Come back through center, standing high knee raises where we meet. Left knee comes back through center, and then step it all the way back, high crescent pose. Take a deep breath in your high crescent. Breath out, lower hands down to the mat. Lift your left foot to the sky, standing split. Hug your low belly in, and drop that left foot down in line with the right. Find a full inhale here. Full exhale here. One more full breath in. And as you breathe out, step back to a low lunge. And then walk your right toes to the outer right edge of your mat. Place your right hand inside of the foot and drop your left knee down. Okay, so we're coming into twisted lizard. You can stay here if this is enough, or maybe reach the right arm to the sky. Kick your left heel towards your seat, and then reach the right arm back behind you, maybe grab the top of the foot. See if you can build space in between your right shoulder and ear. So mine crept up as soon as I grabbed the foot, and I'm just gonna see if I can shrug it back down, and then maybe gaze up over the right shoulder. Take another full breath here. And a breath out. Trying not to slingshot, release the left foot, reach your right arm to the sky, and then lower the right hand down inside of the right toes. Just start to tuck your left toes, lift the left knee, and step the right foot back, find high plank. Start to rock the weight forward, feel your low belly engaging. Holding here for 3, holding for 2, slowly lower onto the belly for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release down. Bring your palms just by your rib cage. Draw your elbows in, feel the shoulder blades connecting, and then lift through your heart, Bhujangasana Cobra. Press through the tops of the feet. See if you can find a little more distance between the shoulders. The heart is expanding. One more breath. Exhale, forehead to the floor. Press to plank or tabletop, and we'll meet in downward facing. And you can arrive there however that works for you this evening. Once you get there, you can soften the knees and pedal out a little bit, taking a couple soft breaths just to warm the whole body up, to start to feel a little heat. One more breath, and stay for the exhale. When you're ready, it's left leg to the sky, and you can either bend the knee or keep a nice long leg as you draw the left hip over the right. So totally up to you, but see if you can drop that left shoulder back down in line with the right. Take another breath in. Close off the left hip, 3-legged dog, and then draw your knee to your nose, squeeze. Lightly step the foot through and lower your back knee down. You can bring hands again to your thigh, or a circle sweep up and overhead. You take what you need here. And then as you're ready, see if you can drop your pubic bone down and lengthen the front side of the body. Maybe feel that lifting of your heart space, opening here. Now, options. You can take your left forearm to the thigh and just gently reach right fingers up and over towards the left. Or if you have the space, drop your left hand underneath your left hip and find more space in that right side body. Breathing, staying with it. Take another inhale. Come back through center, low lunge. Tuck your right toes. We're gonna lift the right knee and find that hover hold. We're here for 3, strong legs, strong belly for 2, 1, high crescent pose, lift up. See if you can energetically press the right thigh away from the back. Press into the left foot. Biceps float back behind the ears. Deep breath in. Breath out, press into the left foot. Standing high knee raise. Right knee reaches up and towards the belly. And then from here, tree pose. Wherever you need to place the ankle is, or the foot is behind the ankle. I was thinking about my ankle. You're gonna just bring yourself into tree. So it can be your, it can be kickstand on the floor to your shin, or maybe up a little bit higher onto the thigh, just not on the knee if you can help it. You can bring your hands down for a moment just to stabilize, find balance. And then once again, you can take a forearm to the top of your right thigh and maybe left fingers reach. Or if you're feeling balance supported, right fingers around left wrist and pull up and over. Just a gentle side body stretch here and a little balance challenge maybe. Woo. Deep breath in, breath out. Bring your knee back through center so we're in that standing high knee raise. And we're gonna take a big step back, high crescent pose. Take a full breath in. Exhale, standing split, right toes float to the sky. See if you can level the right hip off a little bit here. Maybe flex the right foot and then level the hip and then maybe point the toes towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, bend your left knee, step your right toes back, finding a runner's lunge. And then heel toe your left foot towards the left edge of your mat. Bring your left hand inside. Drop your back knee when you feel ready. Twisted lizard, you can stay here if this is too much or enough. Take your left arm up to the sky. Maybe kick right heel to your seat. And then you can reach back for the top of your right foot. And then gaze up over your left shoulder. So once again, see if you can begin to move the left shoulder away from your ear. Doesn't have to be a big movement, but just see if you can create more spaciousness. And maybe rededicate your focus to the tops of the cheeks again and see what happens. Take another inhale. Release your right foot, reach your left hand to the sky, and then lower it down. Just simply tuck your right toes with the knee and step back to plank, and we hold. See if you can rock the weight gently forward. Feel your low belly engaging, holding 3, holding 2, 1, lower for 5. Bend the elbows in, we're coming to the belly in 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down, untuck the toes, tops of the feet root. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Start to lift up through the heart, draw your shoulder blades together, shoulders soft, heart big and wide. Take another deep breath in here, forehead to the floor. Tabletop or high plank, however you want to get there. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Draw your hips to the sky. Find your breath. Take a deep cleansing inhale in through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth, let it go. One more like that. Big breath in. Deep exhale, let it go. On an inhale, gaze forward. Soften into the knees and start to hop, step, or float the feet to the top of the mat. Fold, release into the legs. Let your upper body dangle. And just notice if you soften the knees, can you get your belly a little closer to the thighs? Maybe can you release your head and neck? Take an inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Bring your hands to your shins, find the halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. Rise to stand, Urdhva Hastasana, root through the feet, reach up, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold back down. Halfway lift when you feel ready. Plant the palms, step back through your plank. Rock your weight forward, lower down, halfway or all the Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Downward facing dog, draw your hips to the sky. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Gaze forward, inhale. Soften the knees, hop, step, float your way to the top of the mat, we fold. And halfway lift when you are ready, big breath in. Big breath out, fold. Circle, sweep arms all the way up and overhead. Take up space. Exhale, fold right back down. Find your halfway lift, lengthen. Plant the palms, hop, step, float. Vinyasa of choice. Feel the warmth in your body as you move. We'll meet in downward facing and take a full breath in and a full breath out. On your next inhale, gaze forward. Soften the knees, hop, step, float to the top of the mat, fold. Halfway lift when you arrive, inhale. Exhale, fold. Rise to stand, Urdhva Hastasana, root through the feet, lifted, lengthen. And bring yourself back down to Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift when you are ready. Vinyasa of choice, move through your flow. If you just want to beaten down dog, that's always fine. Find what your practice is asking for, what your body's asking for, and honor that. We're going to be in down dog for about 2 more breaths. I'm just going to check on everybody, make sure there's no weird things happening. Not with you guys, just like with me. Make sure there's no chats. Hi, Tracy. I like that leg wave. All right. 1 more breath. And then as you're ready, take your right leg high to the sky, lift it up. And then open up your right hip, stack it over the left, maybe bend the knee if you'd like, or keep it long. And then from here, begin to square the hip back down. And this time, hug the knee in towards your nose, squeeze it in, press so much into the mat that it lifts a little higher, and then hover the shin just between the palms. And then lift it back up into your chest. 2 more times, hover, use the low belly. Inhale, lift, hover, inhale, lift it high, and lightly step it through. Find high crescent lunge, reach the arms up overhead. Find really strong legs here. And then once again, you can take right forearm to your thigh and lift your left fingers up and over, or right hand around left wrist and stretch into your left side body. Take a deep breath in here and a breath out. Come through center, high crescent. Standing high knee raise, draw the left knee in. We're gonna add on a little bit here. So, what I want you to do from here is take a floating tree. So flex your left toes, and then bring your left knee over to the left. Beautiful. Now, our hips are square. From here, what I want you to do is we're gonna bring ourselves into a half moon shape from here. So I want you to think about swinging your left shoulder and hip open, finding a half moon shape, breathing in, and then once again, close the hands down, standing split. Take a full breath in your split, and a full breath out. Standing high knee raise, draw your left knee back in towards your belly. We're gonna revisit that, and we're gonna make it dynamic. So you're gonna swing the left leg to the left, but you're still floating tree. You're not connected to the right leg if you can help it. And then from here, open your left side body, find half moon. All right, we're gonna do it again. Woo! See if you can find floating tree from your half moon without touching the right leg. Draw the left knee to the left, and then find your half moon. 1 more time through, balance is hard. Come back into your floating tree. Come back into your half moon. Holding here for 3 more breaths. You can stay or kick left heel towards your seat. Maybe grab the top of the foot with the left hand. Maybe even float the right fingers forward. We hold for 3. We're holding 2. Release the bind if you have it. Take an inhale. Step it back, warrior 2. Woo, right leg. Okay. Take a deep breath in here. Sink the hips a little deeper, breath out. Reach your right fingers forward, flip your palm. Reverse the warrior, draw your right ribs up and back, finding a little more length. And then side angle pose, take right forearm down or inside as left fingers reach high. Maybe taking that left arm up and over your left ear. Finding your breath here. 2 more inhales. 2 more exhales. Big breath in. Lower both hands inside of your right foot on the breath out. Spin your left heel towards the sky. And then lower the left knee, twisted lizard. Right arm can reach up. Maybe left heel comes towards seat. Maybe right arm reaches back. And we feel length and space across our heart. Take another deep inhale here. And deep exhale. Release the foot if you have it gently, right arm to the sky. And then back down to the mat. From here, we're going to tuck our left toes and lift the knee. And then bend into the knee and step forward, malasana. Okay, so you guys know I love these probably because we do them a lot in here. But I was asked for handstand prep. Disclaimer. So, options. If you would like, I'm going to give you some options to either take this into donkey kicks, so more traditional style, or take these into frog hop handstand kick-ups. So if you're taking donkey kicks, you can go ahead and lower the hands and bring the legs back behind you into downward facing. And then you're going to come up onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, gaze past your fingertips, and think about heels to your seat, kicking up. And then if the heels come to your seat, maybe you shift the legs to the sky and get a little hang time. Take 3 or 5, whatever you have space for. If you get a little hang time, hang out. If you hate donkey kicks, you don't have to leave the ground. You can always stay in malasana. If you like these little frog kicks, from your malasana, you can plant your palms and try and clap your feet over your head. I like this because sometimes it gives you that idea of like, oh yeah, if I just get my feet to the sky to touch, then my hips lift and I can touch the feet. Woo. And then when you're done, you can, either if you're in malasana or you're landing in your downward dog, vinyasa of choice, stepping back, staying in your dog, flowing through vinyasa, do what you need to do. Maybe handstand to your vinyasa, and we'll find downward facing. All right, we're building a little heat, hopefully. Breathing in and out softly through the nose. See if you can come back to that focus. Notice what your breath is doing as you started to get the heart rate up, as if you were jumping or moving your hips over your shoulders. See if you can feel what the belly's doing. Is it expanding and contracting slowly, or is it super rapid? And then once you feel ready, plant down through your right foot, lift your left heel high, and then you can either bend the knee or keep the leg long as you stack open the left side body. Take a deep breath in here, and then close the hip down. Bring your left knee in towards your nose, hug it, squeeze it, press the palms into the mat, lower the shin to a hover. Draw the knee back up, inhale, drop it down to a hover. 2 more, lift it up. Here's your handstand prep, lower. Lift it up really high and step it through. We'll meet in high crescent pose. Draw yourself up, find space. Press energetically back through the right thigh. See if you can feel it lifting, feel your spine lengthening. Take another deep breath in. Breath out, either left forearm to thigh, right fingers reach up and over to the left, or left fingers around right wrist, and find more space. Take another full breath. Feel into your right side body. Breath out. Inhale, find your high crescent. Root down through your left foot, standing high knee raise, right knee in towards your belly. Find tree pose, floating. So you're going to take your right leg out towards the right, knee is bent, maybe like right toes are flexed, okay? And then from here, just our first round, I want you just to gently shift into half moon. Breathing, making space across your chest, maybe falling out. Find another 2 inhales, 2 exhales. 1 more breath in. On the breath out, close the hips down, hands to the mat, standing split. Find length across your left leg, and then energetically press the right toes towards the sky. Bend into the left knee on your next exhale, drop the right toes, high crescent pose, we lift up. Beautiful, standing high knee raise, right knee lifts. Finding this once again, we're going to move through this a little more dynamically. So find that floating tree, draw your right knee out wide. Woo. And then find your half moon. Open the right side body up. 2 more times. Come back to that closed hip. Floating tree, right knee out wide. Half moon. You can move at your own pace. You know where we're going. Floating tree, right knee out wide. Whoa. Half moon, we hold. Shift your right leg out long. Stay here or kick your right heel to your seat. Maybe right hand grabs the top of the foot. Maybe left arm reaches. Find your breath. Stay with it. 2 more inhales. 2 more exhales. If you still have the foot, gently release on your next exhale breath. Warrior 2, step the right toes back. Maybe you're feeling some things in that left leg. When you're ready, reach your left fingers forward, flip your palm. Reverse the warrior, take it up and back, lengthen. Take a deep breath in here. Side angle pose as you breathe out. Lower left forearm to the thigh or inside. Right fingers reach nice and high. They can come up over your right ear if you have that space. Take 1 more big breath here. Lower the hands down inside of your left foot. Lower the back knee down. Twisted lizard. You can stay here or take left arm to the sky. Maybe reach it back. Maybe kick right heel in towards your seat. Holding for 2 breaths. 1 more breath. Gently release the foot if you still have it. Release the left hand to the mat. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, bend it, and step forward, Malasana. Same options as before. You can step back into a dog if you'd like those donkey kicks, or you can frog hop into your handstand. So if maybe you tried one and you want to try the other, you can mix it up. So for frog hops again, it's thinking about getting your hands shoulders width, okay, and for donkey kicks for both, handstand front, about shoulders width, and spread your fingers as wide as they'll go, and like grip your mat like you're palming a basketball. Okay, so use your fingertips so that your whole arm is active. And then think about hips over shoulders and draw belly in. And maybe take 3 to 5 rounds. Maybe you catch a little air. Maybe nothing, no flight tonight, and that's totally fine. And we'll hot step float, or just gently find your way to downward facing, whatever you need. And when you arrive, feel your hips lifting, feel your sits bones gently spreading. See if you can make a little more space in your spine. And come back to that focus. Take an inhale here. Soften out through your exhale, release it deep, ha, out through the mouth, let it go. On an inhale, take your right leg high, and then start to stack open the hips. So maybe the leg stays long here. Now, if you want to move on, you can stay here, or press into your left palm, roll into the outer edge of your left foot, and then maybe reach your right arm to the sky. Vashisthasana, floating side plank. Maybe begin to take your right toes and hover them above your left thigh, so like a floating tree. That's it. Breathe. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Lower the right hand if it's lifted. Bring your right foot to the sky. Everybody 3-legged dog. Pull your knee in towards your nose, squeeze. Hover the shin. 2 more, pull it in. And hover. 1 more, pull it in. Hover. Lift it up, inhale, and step it through. High crescent lunge, take a big breath in, and a big breath out. This time, lower the hands down to the mat, standing split. Launch your left toes to the sky. And then from here, 5 breaths. You can wrap hands around calves. You can keep them on the mat or blocks. Or, if you're still playing, Nikki, who requested this, keep your eyes forward. And I want you to think about all those little shin hovers we were doing. See if you can get your knee in towards your belly. And then with your left leg and the strength of those spreading fingers and strong hands, maybe kick off of the right foot and lift your left foot to the sky. Maybe both feet meet for a minute and get a little hang time. Maybe not. Take another 2 breaths or so. And then both feet meet, chair pose, Utkatasana. Drop your seat low, lift up through your heart. Utkatasana. Woo, breathe. See if you can draw your biceps back. Feel the breath in the body, lengthen the spine. One more inhale. One more exhale. Left knee into your belly as the right leg lengthens, standing high knee raise. Floating tree, open your left leg towards the left. Now from here, if you'd like, you can explore kicking the left leg out long, no hands, and then drawing it in. 3 more times, kick it out long, and draw it in. Last time, maybe kick it out long. You can stay with it long or rebend it half moon. So we're gonna open up the hips, whoop, shifting yourself open into your half moon. Find your breath here, holding. Floating tree, come back to those closed hips, draw your left toes towards right thigh, and then half moon, send it back. One more time, floating tree. Send it back, half moon, we hold. Shavasana if you would like. Take your left heel to your seat. Maybe you reach the right arm forward, 2 more breaths. One more inhale. If you have the foot, gently release it. Step back, warrior 2. Inhale, take your right fingers forward, flip the palm, reverse the warrior. Draw yourself up and back. Side eagle pose, right forearm to thigh or inside. Maybe left fingers to the sky or up over your left ear. Now, if you're feeling kind of spacious and kind of warm, take your right hand, or arm, underneath your thigh to the pinky side of your right foot. Maybe stay. Maybe come to the ball of the right foot. Maybe reach left fingers for the right big toe, okay? If this is enough, stay. The back foot, your left foot, needs to stay grounded, and this right palm are anchoring you. If you have the space, you can lift the right foot off the mat, and maybe begin to kick forward, opening up your left side body, breathing into your space here. Take one more inhale, lower back down. Woo, lower the hands inside of the right foot. We're gonna lower into twisted lizard. Left knee will come down, right fingers to the sky, open. And then kick left heel to seat, maybe grab for the top of the foot. Whew, find your breath. Take one more inhale. Release the left foot, reach the right fingers high. And this time, go ahead and frame your right foot with both hands. Heel toe it in towards midline if it isn't already. And then tuck your left toes with the left knee. Find your hovering crescent pose here. Low belly is strong. You can reach arms forward or back or to your hips, your choice. Take a deep breath in. Fly the hands back if they're not already on the breath out. Shift the weight into the right foot, warrior 3. Launch your left foot back behind you. See if you can keep your hips squaring, keep your low belly engaging. We're holding. We're breathing for 3, for 2, 1. Step back to high crescent, and then open up into warrior 2. We're going to shift weight into our left leg, skandasana. Pop your right toes towards the sky. Take a deep inhale here, and deep exhale. Feel into the hips. As you're ready, we're going to come back to low lunge at the top of the mat. Shift your weight forward. And then from here, root down through your palms. So we're in this nice runner's lunge, okay? And I want you to really root through your palms and dome across your shoulder blades. And then see if you can slowly and carefully begin to lift your right foot off the mat, bringing your heel towards your seat. So low belly's engaged. Okay, now slowly and carefully tap the right toes towards the mat, and then lift it back in. 2 more, tap them, and lift. 1 more tap, and lift. Plank pose, vinyasa of choice. Move through your flow. Find downward facing when you're ready. And take deep inhales and exhales out through the nose. See if you can soften your gaze once again. Take another inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, take your left leg high. And then you can either bend the knee or keep the leg long, stack the hip. You can stay here, or When you're ready, come onto the outer edge of your right foot and then start to press into the right palm, lift your left fingers high. You can stay here in the side plank variation or take your left toes to hover above your right thigh, floating tree. We're holding, we're breathing for another 3, for another 2, 1. If your leg is bent, bring it out long. If left hand is lifted, come back down to the mat, three-legged dog. Squeeze your knee in towards your nose, hold, hover the shin. Press it back in, hover it down. Lift it up, hover, lift it up, and step it through. High crescent lunge as you are ready. Rise up. Take a full inhale here. Exhale, hands to the mat, standing split, right toes reach. We're here again for 5 reps. So lots of chance to play with your kick-ups or chance to explore the depth of your hamstrings and the activation of your quads by staying on your standing split. You can stay supported with blocks, hands can wrap, you can practice your kick-ups. If you're kicking up, gaze forward in front of your fingertips, soften your left knee, and then think about lifting your right leg as you draw the left knee in. So thinking about that knee to belly connection, and then if you get that hang time where your hips magically appear over your shoulders, then lift your left toes to meet. Take another 2 breaths or so. And then when you're ready, both feet meet. Chair pose, Uttanasana, sink your seat, lift up through your heart. Woo. Sink your seat down. Feel your rib cage expand. Take 2 more breaths. 1 more big breath. On your next inhale, take your right knee into your chest as your left leg gets long. And then floating tree, take your right leg to the right. Now, once again, you can stay here and just get this nice hip opener, or, you can start to extend through the right leg and drop back in. We're here for 3. We're gonna meet in that floating tree in 2, just feeling into the hips. Floating tree when you're ready, and then open it up, half moon. Shifting back into your half moon, holding for 2 breaths. Wobbles and all. And then floating tree, close the hips back down, right knee is open wide. Find your half moon, take it back. Floating tree, draw it back in. Last time, find your half moon. Stay here, or if you'd like, Shavasana, bring right heel to seat, maybe right hand to top of foot. Maybe the left arm floats. Find your breath. 1 more breath. If you have the foot, gently release. Step back, warrior 2. Okay, bend into the left knee, find stability in your legs. And then reach your left fingers forward, flip your palm. Reverse your warrior, take it up and back, lengthen. As you exhale, side angle pose. Left forearm down, maybe fingertips inside on mat or block. Maybe right arm extends up and over the ear. Now again, if you're feeling pretty open, or you want to explore, you can take your left shoulder, or arm rather, underneath your left thigh, so that your left thumb and left pinky of your foot are meeting, and then maybe the right hand reaches here, or if you still have space, right peace fingers to your left big toes, pop your left heel off of the mat, stay here, or maybe a whole foot lifts. Right foot needs to stay grounded, that's your anchor. And then maybe if you're anchored, you extend the left leg and roll the right side body open. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Woo! Release back to both hands to the mat. So we're coming into twisted lizard. So if you were in that sundial variation, your hands are probably down. If you're in your extended side angle, lower your right hand and then your right knee. You can stay here, reach left arm to the sky. Maybe kick right heel to seat and ground the right foot with your left hand. Gaze up over your shoulder. Find your breath here. Take another inhale. And without slingshotting, release the right foot, maybe left arm back up for a moment, and then drop it down. Bring your left knee in towards midline here. Okay, we're setting up for a hovering crescent. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. And then when you feel stable in the legs, either hands back to hips or float them forward. Engage your low belly, hold for a breath in. On your breath out, hands back if they're not already. Float up, warrior 3. Get your right toes to lift, and then rock the hip down in line with the left. Lengthen through the spine. Find your breath. Stay with it. We're here for another 3. Last 2. Step it back, high crescent. Warrior 2, just for a breath, spin your right heel down. Focus into the right leg, shift the weight, bend the right knee, pop the left toes towards the ceiling. Skandasana, low side lunge to the right. Whew, breathe here. Stay with it. Feel that openness, that length across the calf, the hamstring, maybe the groin, the outer hip. One more inhale. Float into your runner's lunge at the top of your mat, so left knee will bend, hands plant. Okay, you guys probably remember this from the first side. So we're gonna do it again. See if you can activate this back leg. Press your palms into the mat. So now your upper spine, you have that like kind of lifting up between the shoulder blades, that doming sensation. And this will help you keep your belly active and your legs strong. Now slowly lift your heel up towards your seat. Hold 3, 2, 1. Tap the toes towards the mat and lift. 2 more, lower and lift. 1 more, lower and lift. Shift back, high plank, vinyasa of choice. Move through your flow. If you're doing those little handstand kick-ups, I forgot to cue them, but you can use that knee into the belly to lift up and find your dog. I don't know about you guys, but I am a sweaty mess, and it feels pretty good. All right, from here, take 2 big breaths in and out through the nose. Take 1 more big breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth, let it go. Gaze forward between your hands. Bend the knees. Hop, step, float all the way through to a seat. And then, once you get to your seat, bring your feet on the mat, knees pointing towards the sky. Hands come back behind you so that your fingertips are facing your booty. And then lengthen your spine. Open across your collarbone. And maybe lift 1 or both feet off the mat, finding Navasana boat pose. Very nice. Low belly is nice and engaged. Now, stay here or bring your hands on top of your thighs for a moment. Press into the thighs as you, with the palms, as the thighs press into the palms for 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands to the tops of your shins. Press your palms into your shins, shins into your palms. Flex your toes for 3, 2, 1. Hands to the outsides of your calves. Press palms into outsides of calves and vice versa. Holding 3, 2, 1. Maybe arms reach up over the shoulders. Holding 3, 2, 1. You can lower forearms or float into your low boat pose. Flex the toes. We're here for 3. We're here for 2, 1. Come back up to high bow. We're going to do it all again. Hands to the thighs. Press palms to thighs, thighs to palms. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Tops of shins. Press shins into palms for 3. Woo, for 2, 1. Hands to outsides of calves. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Maybe arms reach up and overhead. Find your balance here for 3, 2, 1. Low bow pose. Forearms can lower or stay lifted. You can bend the knees if you need. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Stretch out like a pencil, fingertips to toes. Take a deep inhale. And a deep exhale. All right. We're going to roll over onto our bellies for a moment. So you don't have to do anything fancy. You can just roll over onto your belly. Maybe adjust yourself on your mat so that you're more comfortable. And then when you are ready, go ahead and just let your forehead rest on the mat for a moment. Bring your hands by your sides. Okay? Now, options, we're gonna go into bow pose. It's about 6 breaths. If that is not comfortable or accessible tonight, you can take a locust variation, so you can keep your hands here and just lift up through the heart, maybe lift the feet, okay? If there's any sensitivity in the knees, or this pose is not working for you for whatever reason, take variations. Bhujangasana is also a great variation, so regular cobra. If you have the space, take your left heel towards your seat, and then maybe grab for the outer part, or actually you can also do the inner edge of the foot if you'd like. And then bring your other heel up. And then first, think about pressing the feet in, drawing the shoulder blades together. So you've already got your chest nice and open. And then when you're ready, take a big breath in. Empty all the air out of the lungs. On the bottom of the exhale, begin to kick the feet into the hands and lift up. Lengthen. Feel space in the front side of your body. See if you can breathe into this. 5 inhales and exhales, maybe keeping a little higher with each inhale. Last 3 breaths. One more big breath in. Release it down softly. Let your right ear come down to the mat and just let your legs go long and just wiggle out your hips for a second. Let your low back release. Okay. From here, option, one more round of your bow pulling pose, or that locust or Bhujangasana, or you can rest here on your belly if you need a couple extra breaths. Okay? So if you're going for it, heels to seat, forehead forward. Grab onto the, maybe try the inner if you did the outer, or stick with what you have. The feet or the ankles are fine. Press through the feet, or flex the feet rather, and then press the feet into the hands. As you lift up through the heart, draw the shoulder blades together, and find that soft part of the belly. Maybe you feel a little more depth this round, or maybe you're even more limited, who knows? Just acknowledge where you are. Stay here for 2 more breaths if you can. Take another big breath in. And when you're ready, gently release. Left ear to the mat. Let your feet rock, or your hips rock side to side. And just let the legs be long. Very nice. Okay. Nothing fancy. Just press your palms into the mat by your sides and take yourself up to a seat. So we're going to come onto the actual seat. Nothing fancy, just our seats. Take your left leg so that it's parallelish to the edge of your mat, wherever you're sitting. And then take your right foot and bring the foot over the left knee. So double pigeon. If this is not in your practice, it's not your jam, you can take this in a supine figure 4 if you prefer, okay? If double pigeon is working, but you need a little bit more space between the knee and the ankle, you can rest, block, books, blanket, pillow, whatever you have, to give yourself more space and support. Also, if you need something underneath your seat for more length in the spine, also a great option. You can stay upright here, hugging the belly in, softening the shoulders. If you'd like, you can fully soften the gaze, meaning closed eyes. If you like them open, maybe keep that focus this time still on the cheekbones. See if you can let go of anything extraneous, anything distracting. If you want to melt the heart forward, keep your spine long and you can fold over the thighs. But make sure it's serving you. Make sure it's what your body needs. Try not to attach to what we think it needs to look like, or to the ego of the posture. Harder said than done, I know. Take another breath here. If you fold it over, start to come back up through center. If you're taking a supine pigeon, you can stay on your back and just switch legs, okay? So for my double pigeons, unwind your legs, bring your right shin down parallelish to the top of the mat, left foot over right knee, left knee over right foot. So you've got the little triangle. All right. Whatever sensation you're getting into the outer left glute and hip, just notice it. Again, you can take something to prop up that left knee over the right. You can prop your seat. Take care of your body, take care of your hips and your knees. Trust yourself to know what you need here. And you can stay here if you're in your fold or your double pigeon, or you can start to fold, hinging from the hips, keeping your spine nice and long. And just allow yourself some gentle release here. See if you can soften the face here. Whether the eyes are open or closed, just keep your gaze as soft as possible. And then as you feel ready on your next inhale, if you have folded, come back up through center. And then if you're on your back, please stay. If you're on your seat, unfurl your legs. And then we're going to come down onto our backs and just bring our hands next to our hips for a moment here. And I just want you to let the knees come in softly towards each other. Place one hand over your heart and the other over your belly if that's comfortable, or just leave them down by your sides. If you have hands on belly and heart, I want you just to notice for a moment your breath. See if you can draw it in through the nose and make your chest get a little bit bigger, expanded. Feel your rib cage expand, feel your belly expand. And then exhale, feel the belly contract, feel the ribs, feel the chest. 3 more times. Coming back to that intention of focus. Noticing where we are in our minds, in our breath, in our bodies. Not judging it, not needing it to change in any grand way, but just acknowledging. And then when and if you feel ready, you can either release the hands or keep them as they are. Maybe just shifting the feet long if that feels right. Maybe letting the backs of the arms come down onto the mat. Just open the palms. Feel the forehead soften. Feel the shoulders soften, the chest open. Breathing in and out softly. Finding this final rest. Seeing if you can release any extra tension, something you're holding on to that you're ready to let go of. I invite you to stay here on your back for as long as you would like this evening. But when and if you feel ready, you can always come onto one side, bending into the knees and just giving yourself a little soft pillow before eventually, patiently, easily, gently pressing towards a comfortable seat. Again, stay where you are if that is where you want to be right now. If you're ready to be moving, go right ahead. You can rest your hands on tops and thighs, or if you'd like, bring them through your heart and just press your thumbs in towards the sternum. Soft gaze or closed eyes. Taking deep breaths here. And breaths out. take one more inhale collectively. Open the mouth side out, let it go. My hand through my third eye in gratitude and honor of each and every one of you. Thank you guys for practicing and being on